It's the Tristan Law Show. If it's your first time here, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Tristan Law, semi-retired pro wrestler. Today, I'm your host. Well. We've made it because 1 year ago, the WWE, they made the biggest media move in its history. What did they do? Raw left cable. Today, the WWE Network is history. The entire media library, it moved on to YouTube and Netflix, and wrestling officially entered the YouTube era. A lot of fans, a lot of us, we expected Raw to change overnight. We expected bigger risks. We expected a new tone. We expected a totally different Monday Night Raw. But 1 year later, the real question isn't did Raw change? It's what did WWE actually want this move to accomplish? Because here's the truth. WWE doesn't want us living inside of wrestling anymore. They want wrestling living inside of our lives. And today I'm not alone. I'm here with the First Lady, such a beautiful face to have to my left, Jess, the Captain. She's here today, and she's here to bring us the female point of view, the fan point of view, because she's never stepped in the wrestling ring. Jess, what's going on? Happy New Year. Happy everything else that I missed. What's going on?
Yes. Happy holidays, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy New Year. Happy Epiphany. All those things that you decide to celebrate in the first of the year. Yes. And yes, we have made it, Tristan. 365 days later, we are 1 year in of the Netflix era of WWE. And by golly, honestly, this has been the best marketing thing they've done in years. Now, I know, guys. I know I'm a kind of a newbie. I'm a youngin', I wasn't around when y'all had to watch stuff on VHSs and, you had to pop in the blank VHS on the PPV pretty much if you want to record it. And then if you didn't record it, you're pretty much SOL and you're pretty much going to be that guy in the third, fourth grade that don't know what to talk about. Now we're no longer there ever since COVID. Ladies and gentlemen, honestly, I think ever since COVID, WWE said, dog, we need to hop on this train. We need to get on this streaming train before it gets too crowded. You see, everybody has a streaming service now. At first, it was just Netflix and Hulu. Right. Netflix, Hulu, and Disney. Now everybody's got a streaming service. You got Peacock. You got AMC. Don't they have their own app? WWE itself, don't they have their own app?
No, just they got it's done. Wow. It's done as of okay. So the thing with WWE being on Netflix is that we have been getting the short end of the stick in America because the streaming rights belonged to the library belonged to Peacock. So now that that's over, we now get it on Netflix, but everybody before that lived in a different country or, they had a VPN, they were watching it on Netflix. So now the entire library is on Netflix and the WWE Network is gone. If you're looking to watch a WWE PLE anywhere on this planet, you have to use Netflix. Or unless you live in America and you get the short end of the stick, you pay $900 and you watch it on ESPN.
Yeah. Well, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. America, you do not have to, for at least the PLEs, the old PLEs are available to you on the Netflix. American Netflix.
That's correct. So, yes, as of a couple days ago, yes.
All of them. You can watch Saturday Night Main Event. You can watch Survivor Series. You can watch last year's Royal Rumble.
If you want to.
All of them are now, right, if you want.
If you want to.
And yeah, and it feels different, but it feels different in a good way. Excuse me, because now you can watch it. You don't have to use word of mouth because sometimes word of mouth just doesn't work out the way you need it to. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
So now you can just go back and see the stuff for yourself. You can research it for yourself. So honestly, I think this has been a very great year for the company of WWE, 100%.
So to set the table for this for this episode, I want everybody to understand that what Jess and I are doing today, we're not really recapping Raw. There's 52 episodes of Raw to recap for the entire year. We're not doing that. So if that's what you came for today, we apologize in advance. This is not. This is also not going to be nostalgia. We're not going to be complaining too much. But what this is going to be a 1 year check-in, and it's going to be expectations versus what we actually got. Right now, we got a poll that's going on, and the poll is asking. Well, no, I can't say poll because one time I said I like polls, and Stu roasted me for that. Stu's it says has Raw on Netflix made WWE better, worse, or just different? Right now, different is leading with 75%. Nobody thinks it's doing worse, and 25% think it's doing better. Shout out to Stu. Stu's in the chat. Fernando's here. Much respect to you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know, Jess, that our brother Terrell from the Nosebleeds show is in the chat. He's watching while he's doing his live stream. So shout out to our brother.
See, I like that. They're doing their own thing, but also supporting others. I love that. Thank you guys so much. Like
I said, the table is long, and we could all send it together. But to understand year one, we have to start with what we thought this move really meant. And the expectations that we had, we thought we were going to get a reinvention of Raw. We were going to get a new set, fewer restraints, just like the Attitude Era. We were going to get Attitude Era 2.0. We're going to get prestige TV presentation like WWE already does, but turned up. We're going to get more adult cinematic feel and a visible difference immediately. But the reality is, after year one, Raw still feels like Raw. The production is cleaner. It's the same structure, incremental changes, but not revolutionary. If you ask me, I personally think Netflix didn't change Raw overnight. They stabilized it. What's your feelings on year one?
It had its little ups and downs because, like people said, everyone has a problem with the commercials. And I will, as a person who does watch watch Raw on Netflix America, it does have a tendency to show a lot of commercials. Whereas when I'm watching SmackDown on the Canada feed, it's not like you get a small commercial, like very small, but during the commercial break, you're still watching the match. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's a little slow. It ain't really too much going on in said match, but at least you get to see what's going on instead of wasting, I'll say it's usually about 3 to 4 minutes. Everyone exaggerate, talk about, it's about 10 minutes, whereas I'm like, y'all exaggerate so much when y'all don't like something. It's 3 to 5 minutes. But the 3 to 5. It takes enough for you to go to the bathroom real quick, wash your face, pee, whatever you do in the bathroom, and then come back, and then you're back in.
The thing that you're talking about, Jess, is that during Raw, if you're watching in America on Netflix, there's ads. But when you're watching in anywhere else in the world, if you're using a VPN, you will get the continuation of the match, or you might get a mid-match promo, or you might get something like that. On SmackDown, you'll sometimes get some of that, but you'll also get a thing with Cody Rhodes or whoever in the middle just posing up and different stuff like that. So if you ask me, Jess, I still feel that even though in America, and if you're watching internationally, they'll cut off the commercial. Like when they start saying, today's Monday Night Raw is brought to you by... And all you see is the logo for DoorDash there. And we're like, y'all mean DoorDash. But DoorDash ain't pay for that. So they can't get the international. So the thing is that I feel that in America, we still get the short end of the stick when it comes to the content. We have to sit for commercials. A lot of us thought that because we were paying for the commercial-free version of Netflix, that we weren't going to get commercials. But this is where they stick us into a box, Jess. The box that they stick us into is that if we decide that we no longer want to pay for the commercial version of Netflix, you don't get Raw anymore. You don't get the live sports anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I looked. I was like, you know what? If I'm going to be watching the commercial, why don't I just cancel it and just pay, instead of paying $19 in change, why not just get it cheaper? But no, it's not happening. It's not happening.
Yeah, they're not going to. I guess that way nobody makes money. WWE won't make money, and neither will Netflix. Honestly, it's a money grab.
I agree.
Of course. And it was like when it comes back to my mind, it was something else there's another company doing that same thing right now. But we'll talk about that in a few minutes because it'll come back to me once we continue to talk. I'm just, God dang, Trish. It's just like, dang. I know. I know we got so many streaming
We
services.
do. We do.
You know what I'm saying? We
We
got
do.
so many streaming services and they're making us pay all of it. Unless of course you got cable.
Right.
But
But still,
but
cable is dying. You can't. The only thing that you can watch on TV on cable for wrestling WWE is SmackDown and NXT. You're still not getting the flagship show Raw. And Raw's been on Netflix for a year. And if you live international, everything's been on Netflix for WWE for a year. And here's the question I want to ask you, Just I want to ask the audience, everybody watching live or whether you're watching on demand. Did you expect Raw to feel totally different on Netflix, Jess?
it in a sense, yeah, I knew it was going to be a lot of more bells and whistles. You know what I'm saying? I knew it was going to be a lot of promotions, a lot more talking on the mic, a lot of more little things, just small intricate things. But it's like they have made it, if we're all paying attention, it's like it's mini WrestleMania or mini PPLEs now. Like I said, it's bells and whistles. You got people coming in and out and surprise guests, surprise matches, all those things that you usually would get in a PLE. You know what I'm saying? So it feels different, but it's more attractive. Let me use that. It's way more attractive. It doesn't feel like a glorified indies. It feels like a show. It feels like an actual like event or something like that. Not to throw no shade on indies, but you don't get pyrotechnics at a indies
Actually,
match. At least not the ones I've been to.
Actually,
man, that shit was so ghetto. I'm sorry. It was so ghetto. That's all they had. They had a boombox. They had a boom box, people, not a stereo, a boom box, and the dude had to plug in his phone to play his music, his entrance music.
Well, I mean,
I ain't never. That's so ghetto.
You've probably never been to an indie show to where the microphone doesn't work and they're just yelling in the ring. Maria says to the question.
Ouch.
To the question, did you expect Raw to feel totally different on Netflix? Maria says no, she expected the same. Maria also says that there's way too many streaming shows and Netflix is overrated. Fernando says that he thinks the state of Raw is the same. He doesn't think that Netflix has changed anything. It still feels the same to him.
Yeah, it hasn't. Not really.
Stu is not going to be able to be here today. But he said that he can't watch live, but he's stopping by with some views. Make sure you check out his channel. He says that Netflix has made Raw better in his opinion. It feels much a bigger deal now when it's on Netflix, and the quality of shows prove it. Have a great show. Thanks, dude.
Yes, I agree. It's the quality of it is lovely now. Lovely. It doesn't, you ain't got to squint at the TV. You know what I'm saying? Like you could see everything's clear and it just looks better. The presentation is better.
I think the presentation, it upgraded just a little bit. It upticked. Fernando says that WWE Raw and SmackDown never felt like a glorified indie show ever, and I agree. I don't think it's ever felt like a glorified indie show. I could probably say, not even, if I was saying something felt like a glorified indie show on TV today, I don't think it really exists. You know, maybe AEW, well, no, not even, maybe Dark Elevation or something like that, because they were using a lot of indie names. But I feel that it's upticked a little bit. I feel like, well, I don't feel like WWE has done small things like with the drone. The drone is different. Getting the drone to where you can get different shots of the wrestlers and stuff like that. But when you look at the shot from the first Raw at the Intuit Dome, it looked different because of the Intuit Dome, because of the lights and all the other LEDs and state-of-the-art stuff that they had there. I think that kind of hyped up the visual expectation, because when we went forward, we didn't really get that everywhere.
No, you only got, like, back then, you only got one side. Like, you only saw that, like, what is it, more so like the right? Like, if I'm looking in the middle right here, and back in the day, you never saw, you like you said, you never saw a drone. Like, you never actually got to see so many fans. You only got, there you go. You only got this shot.
Right.
95% of the time
That's the
right here.
that's the hard cam shot, and that's from the first Raw last year and in the Intuit Dome. You know, they had all those extra LED lights and all the extra lighting. Like it felt like it felt larger than life. It felt like a huge Hollywood premiere. And to me, it feels just a little bit different on Netflix. But granted, I've been watching since I remember looking at Raw when Raw was in the Manhattan Center. You know, and it felt low budget. I think, okay, you know what? Fernando says that maybe Raw and SmackDown never felt like a glorified indie show. When you're looking back at the first Raw, you could probably say that compared to today's standards. But still, Raw has come leaps and bounds since it first came on television. If you were to tell me back in 1996 this is what Raw would be today, I would tell you to use a straight bull-faced lie.
That's crazy. Times change, and that is
it sure
so
does.
crazy how people never thought something would ever grow, you know, would never develop and be different. That's crazy.
I mean, but
I think it looks great. I'm sorry. I know some people are just like, yeah, it's too flashy. It's too much. And I can understand why you feel that way. But if you want marketing, if you want the brands, if you want to be seen, you got to do what you got to do. And that means lights, bells, whistles, and about 12 different promotions on the mat.
But you see, the thing too, Jess, is that's what makes the WWE's presentation way different. Is because they have all the lights. They have all the, like you've been to your Saturday night's main event with John Cena's retirement in DC. That was your first WWE show ever, right?
Yes.
And I always say that when you go to a WWE show, it's a show. It's not a sporting event. It's a show. You got the lights. You got the smoke to refract the lights. You got the music. You've got everything. I always say that WWE feels like a concert. It feels like Broadway and a theater all in one.
And basketball. You gotta go. And basketball's kind of similar in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like when all the players come out and the smoke and the you know what the fireworks after the Pledge of Allegiance. You know how it goes.
Well, here's the question though: where you think they all got it from?
No, now y'all know y'all got it from the NBA. You know the NBA came first. You know that.
No,
you know that.
No,
yeah,
no.
Yeah, they did.
Let me tell you, Jess. WWE Pro Wrestling is the regardless of what anybody likes to say.
The oldest is soccer. If we're going to be the oldest is baseball, right?
It is.
Oldest is baseball.
But when you're looking at what WWE does, everybody might say what they want to say about our sport that we love so much. They want to say it's fake. They might want to say it's a flim-flam, it's an okie doke. Sure it is. So is the Avengers.
By the way, speaking of that fake, I got a story to tell everybody. Y'all, you too, Trish, you're going to love this.
All right, well, hold on to that.
It was so funny.
And the thing is that when the world closed because nobody knew what else to do, the WWE was the only thing that was on television. The NBA didn't know what to do. The NFL didn't know what to do. What the WWE did, they built a bubble. They built a bubble and put the shows on in the bubble. What did the NBA do? They built a bubble. What did the NHL do? They built a bubble. WWE is the standard. They are the flag bearer for entertainment today.
I'll let you believe that. I believe they are at the table there, yes, because that is true. We all saw Vince McMahon's documentary and how much of as WWE that y'all are a trailblazers in some aspects. Yes.
But no, I won't say that they were sitting at the table. You know why, Jess? Because they weren't they weren't invited to the table. Everybody said that's not a real sport. We don't want that here. ESPN barely talked about it. Now ESPN talks about wrestling.
Well, yeah.
Let's hear what we got from the chat, because everybody.
Now you got a point, because I was like, damn, you never. Well, no, they would mention it. They wouldn't be like, we wouldn't have you wouldn't have the Usos sitting there at the table. No, you wouldn't have. Well, I was like, I feel like John Cena has sat there, but he would be talking about like his favorite team, which is the Patriots. Right. So, you had stuff like that, but then for them to actually talk about the PLE, yes, now that is different.
And I think that, and I don't, WWE pro wrestling is more entertainment than it is real actual sport. But just like regular sports as well too, the fake stuff that y'all watch, the football and all the other stuff, like that's a sport, but they still have to entertain you for however long it comes on. Like people were talking about, Snoop Dogg the other day, the entertainment, the halftime show. I don't watch, look, I'll be honest, I don't watch fake sports, but I'll watch the Super Bowl just to see what they're talking about when it comes to when it comes to the halftime show. I can't tell you who's playing. I can't tell you who's playing.
They acted crazy. I was like, look, I know, he did some things which he really didn't do much, but hey, it just.
Here's what the
That's
chat
another
says.
show. We'll talk about that another day.
Fernando says, I have a huge problem with the ads and the commercials. He says, I have old school cable and watch everything I want to watch. I watch the hell with streaming. Wait, hold on. I have old school cable and watch everything I want to watch. The hell with streaming. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Maria says that it does look too flashy. She's talking about Raw. Fernando comes back and says that we don't need WWE shows to be over the top with the bells and whistles. But when I'm looking at the whole
well, as an adult, you may not need it, but you got to remember who else they're marketing to: kids, and kids love bells and whistles.
That's fine. They sure do. But I understand that Fernando says that, Tristan, I understand that you love wrestling, but they are not ahead of the curve from real sports like NBA and NFL. All right, but when I'm looking at that, Fernando, I'm talking about from the entertainment aspect. From the entertainment aspect, like granted, WWE and NFL, they're both in the same exact business. They're both doing sports and entertainment. WWE does the entertainment part first and does the sports part second. Which is the issue that I think that they have with AEW. A lot of people feel that AEW, a lot of us can't get into AEW because we don't get that entertainment part first. We get the sport part first. And that's not why we showed up. That's not what brings all the boys to the yard. That's not the milkshake that we want. But with Raw's no longer on television. On cable, ratings mattered. Commercial timing mattered much more. Week-to-week pressure, it was the top the last week. The Nielsen's, the ratings, it dedicated the perception. If you were looking at the Nielsen's ratings, you'd be like, oh, well, Raw sucked that week because the numbers were down. Now that it's on Netflix, there's no public ratings other than if the show is ranked top show in a country, and not only does 50 Cent Jackson have an issue with that, I do as well too, because sometimes I think it's a flim-flam. Sometimes I wouldn't be surprised if that's something that Netflix did to say, hey, this is the number one show in the UK right now, this is the number one show in America right now, just so that you can say, let me see what the number one show is, because Jess, I'm not going to lie, I don't have time to watch Netflix all the time. I don't. I'm sitting here and I'm working on the website, I'm working on everything. I'm a one-man show. Maybe there'll be a day I'll stop working when I have a whole entire team to do the things for us. But my whole thing is just that I don't have time to watch Netflix. But if I'm going to watch Netflix, for me, I want the lowest hanging fruit, Jess. And I want to be able to turn it on and just say, this is number one. Let me see why this is number one and put that on. So that could be something that Netflix is doing to make us watch the show, but it really isn't number one.
Yes and no. They're never number one. After Monday, they're usually not number one. So yes, I know what you're talking about. Every week they have a different list. They have a different list of things that are on the top 10
right
every week. And every week you will see Raw on that list all the way up until possibly Tuesday or Wednesday when something else drops. Now, again, it's been a year. Netflix drops something new on every month. Sure. At least I would say about 5 to 6 different shows every month. Every month. So, well, even more than that now in the new year. A lot of shows that we've been waiting on a new season for are coming back to Netflix as well. So I think the rating talk is still happening, but more on the streaming side. They're not worried about. It's not called ratings, it's views now. Now it's about the views. Who is watching? It ain't, the matches the whole thing could suck. The entire 3 hours could suck, but it doesn't matter because now they have your eyes now, and now you're not a rating, you're a view.
That's true.
You're a viewer. You've already made it past 2 minutes. You have already given us your view, and so it doesn't matter anymore.
Fernando asked a really tough question just now.
What's up?
He said, "You never seen Stranger Things, Tristan?"
I know, right? He is so behind. This was a 10-year journey, and you just
Stranger Things was on for 10 years?
You didn't lock in where you were supposed to. Yes, Stranger Things came out in 2016. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Came out in 2016. And I mean, just a little fun fact. It would have been over maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, but we had COVID. So a lot of production had to stop then. And then once COVID was over, you had the writer's strike that went on for almost a year. So then they stopped production then. After they got that all together, that's when they started to work on it again. That's why we got it. So that's why it was 10 years. It should have been maybe 6.
10 years? Wow. Kiss my mother and call her Shirley. Her name's not really Shirley. But wow, like I didn't really think it was 10 years.
Yep. It doesn't feel like it, but the show was on for 10 years. So.
Oh, damn. Now the chat's piling on to me. Maria says, where you been, Tristan? Maria, I'm building. Maria, when you are done, I want everybody to type this in. I wasn't going to tell anybody, but I want you guys to type this into your browser. 830mg.com. That's what the hell I've been working on, girl. I've been working on that. I get up at 7 o'clock every day. I work on that until like maybe 2 o'clock, but today we had to do a show, so I had to work on it until like 10 o'clock. And then I said, oh crap, I got to eat. Girl, I'm working. I'm working. And I got another show in my mind that I want to bring where I'm going to host it, but I'm going to be the moderator. That's all I'm going to say for now, but it's going to be called Bell to Bell.
You can't do two things at once. All you got to do is just put Netflix in a picture-in-picture. So while you're working on the website or online, you could be doing that and then just glance over and look, it's Netflix and a show. Oh my God.
No, maybe I can't do that. I can't. You know why? Because I be so like, when I'm dialed in. When I'm doing something, like I'm in it.
I understand. Sometimes once you're locked in, you're locked in.
Locked in.
Okay, we're gonna keep this PGK, Trish. We're not playing no games in 2026.
That's right.
So yeah. So I don't think, just off back to the ratings conversation. When you're just watching it for the story and to see how everything is going to unfold, and for the storyline, the ratings and the views, it don't matter. I just want to see how this is all going to play out. Like tonight. Tonight is going to be a very interesting night because CM Punk and Braun Breaker are going for the heavyweight championship. And honestly, I'm very excited for that match. I really am.
I'm excited for that match as well, too. But you know what intrigues me more?
What?
That not only is this show going to be in Brooklyn,
mm-hmm. Yes.
Not only is this show the first anniversary of Monday Night Raw being on Netflix,
mm-hmm.
What intrigues me more is this whole Stranger Things theme that they're doing.
Yes.
Like to me, I don't know what to expect when it comes to Stranger Things.
Don't think too hard. Don't think they're going to be out here in costumes and all that stuff. No. Let's just say Raw is going to be Stranger Things themed.
Well, the WWE has asked fans if they're coming to the Barclays Centers tonight that they are to dress up in cosplay for Stranger Things if they have it.
That sounds fun. That's fun. Wish I lived in Brooklyn, New York, because I would have, I would have tore that up.
You have a Stranger Things costume?
I can put something together. It's not really difficult. It was a 80s and 90s show. So it's not hard. So just, for you, Tristan, for you. So it is based off the game D&D. I don't know if you knew the game
Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
Really?
So it's like a 80s nostalgia horror D&D coming to age type story, and basically we're in the town of Hawkins and we lose a young boy. It's kind of like It almost, you know how Georgie kind of disappeared because it took him under the tunnels and stuff like that. Something similar. The young boy was kidnapped by a Demogorgon, and pretty much we gotta battle ourselves between the real world and this place where he was kidnapped called the Upside Down. I can't really explain to you guys what the Upside Down is because that will spoil the show. Go ahead and lock in on Netflix.
Huh. So
it's gonna be interesting.
Fernando says, Jess, dress like Tina Turner in the 80s tonight. Is that Stranger
That
Things?
doesn't work. That's not gonna work. You see, I have locks. Are you silly? Come on now. I have locks. Nothing fits in those wigs. Nothing.
Based on what you've said so far, though, Jess, about Stranger Things, like I watched like a little bit of season 1, and this was before like I had like a whole life sitting in front of the computer, hanging out with all of you guys. But I'm interested. I'm going to check it out. Fernando says Braun Breaker is the world champion tonight.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because I've been hearing a lot of conspiracies off you other podcasters. Don't be watching you other podcasters. A lot of you guys just be hating because y'all just like to hate and y'all have nothing to do else but hate. But some of y'all make a good point. He is like a half a step slower, just a half a step slower than Braun Breaker, like a half step. Not too much. So this could go so many ways. This could go, Braun Breaker, he becomes world heavyweight champion. Now, what's the story? If I had to write the story, all right, Braun Breaker gets the belt, boom, he has his little run for like maybe 30 days, and then here comes Seth Rollins all over again. And I truly think that Austin Theory is a spy.
I would not be upset with that as well.
Either him or Logan Paul, they're spies for Seth Rollins.
I wouldn't be upset about that as well. And the thing about Netflix having Raw is that it goes from being a regional conversation, like it goes from, all right, well, we've seen it today, but everybody else sees it tomorrow or whenever. It becomes a global conversation, Jess, because like if Braun Breaker does win tonight, that's something we're all talking about tomorrow. Like WWE is officially global. Like they want to be global. They're officially global, and we all watch together. No matter what language we speak, no matter who we voted for, no matter who we sleep in the bed with, wrestling unites us all, and we all will be watching that together tonight.
Yes, we are.
Some people will spend $1,000 to sit in the Barclays.
Make it the bigger picture. Sports brings us all together. It doesn't matter which sport it is, because wrestling may be considered FAKE, but it's a sport. It's still a sport. How many times do they, when they say wrestling is a blank sport, right?
Right.
Y'all about to say y'all don't question that it's a sport though. So what? It brings us all together in these trying times.
So
sports.
Let me ask you this then, Jess, and I'm asking everybody watching as well too. Now that Raw is on Netflix, and there's no real ratings that you can track for it, do you feel more relaxed watching Raw now that ratings aren't shoved in our faces every single week?
I always felt comfortable. It's a comfort show for at least for people like me that just enjoy watching it like it's a soap opera. It's more than just the matches. Like I want to know how far is Maxine Dupree going to go with Becky Lynch or whoever else is coming for the Intercontinental. Like, is Jordan Grace going to go ahead and sign to SmackDown, or is she going to Raw? You know what I'm saying? We just found out Trick Williams. Yes, he has officially signed the contract with SmackDown. So that is where he's at. We're still trying to figure out where Oma Femi's going to be. Javon is over at Raw. So many different kids, so many different people coming over. And I just want to know how Triple H is going to put all of these people together to create a story. so that it won't be boring anymore. SmackDown went to 3 hours.
Yeah, it was.
It went to 3 hours, and I was shook because it was good.
It was, and like I said, SmackDown. I think that SmackDown's been winning.
Yes. So far now that they're bringing back old school matches. I mean, again, I'm a returner, so I didn't know that the ambulance match has only been done officially 8 times. And I never knew that.
I'll tell you this about the ambulance match, Jess. I can live a perfect life just never seeing an ambulance match ever again.
I thought it was funny.
I don't need to see one. It's just not my thing. The ambulance match is a glorified casket match where you put them in the casket, you close the door, and you win. Oh my God, you won. You have to put them in the ambulance.
Yeah, it's a little more kid friendly.
It is. I would agree. Oh my God, mommy, they threw the guy in the hole and they shoveled the dirt on him. Now it's like, well, they put him in the ambulance. Don't worry, Timmy. Everybody goes to the hospital when they get
right. Everybody goes to the hospital. Not everybody is buried alive.
That's true.
Trauma.
So this is when I'm looking at the whole entire thing as a whole. Now is where the shift is more obvious than what WWE gave up to make this whole entire move. What I'm talking about is the WWE Network. So that we all understand, the WWE Network is adios. It's se fue. Peacock was the transitional phase, and Netflix is now a part of the ecosystem. So what we lost is a centralized wrestling home. No more WWE Network. Granted, us in America, we haven't had it in a long time. You know, there's no more deep archival discovery. That's something that we really had in the WWE Network, Jess. You could type in Stone Cold Steve Austin, 1999. They'd show you every match from 1999. You could type in Stone Cold Steve Austin, and what they would do is they would take you to the exact PLE and just show you that moment. You wouldn't have to watch through the whole entire thing. But we lost wrestling as a destination, but with this whole entire change that we've had in 2026, part of 2025, is that the WWE has gained a massive built-in audience. It's lower friction for casual fans. Look, everybody got Netflix. You don't got to try too hard to watch your WWE, right? You don't need Peacock. You don't need to have cable. Just turn on Netflix. You're already watching Stranger Things. You're already watching Orange is the New Black if that show is still on the TV. Wednesday, whatever you're watching. What?
You know, you're 20 years. Jesus.
What happened?
You're 10 years behind. Orange is the New Black was in 2016. Stranger Things is this year. Right. Yes. Both started at the same time.
Wow. Kiss my mother and call her Alberta.
Orange is the New Black ended faster. They ended in 18 or something.
Wow. Shows what the hell I know, right? I'm behind. But I think that wrestling got embedded into everyday viewing habits. We didn't lose context. We didn't lose content. We just lost the context.
No, I don't think you did that either. Everything just got moved. That's it. Netflix was just like, you know what? Just bring it here. Bring it here so that way it'll be easier. Because now all the parents want to sit there and have Netflix, Disney Plus, Peacock, WWE Network, MGM, Zeus Network. It was too much. So I've noticed that a lot of people are merging together and bundling up. And I feel like WWE was like, the place to go is Netflix. All the kids, like Netflix is the #1 streaming service that people download. Believe it or not, it's Netflix. The kids watch Netflix. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you think they're trying to market to the adults. They're marketing to the teenagers. It's for the teenagers. It's for, for us and our nostalgia. Yeah. But right now they're marketing to the ages of, I would say 12 and 22.
Well, I think it's beneficial for Netflix to have the WWE library now, other than it being on the WWE Network as a business entity in itself. WWE had to chase that $9.99 themselves.
Right.
But a part of whatever deal that they have with Netflix, Netflix is paying for the rights to have the PLE. I'm looking at this right now, and they say that, some deals like Friends, the TV show Friends, that Netflix paid them $100 million annually.
Oh, you talking about the show that stole this whole thing from Living Single? Oh.
Sure.
We don't speak on Friends in my house.
Yeah, never seen Friends.
We don't speak on them.
Yeah, never seen Friends.
Thieves. They're thieves.
But yeah, so I think it's a much better deal for Netflix to have to be the owner, the custodians of the WWE library, because WWE doesn't have to do anything but just do what they do. They already create the programming. Just here, Netflix, do something with it. WWE still owns the rights to it. You know, it's just that where it plays. You know, WWE still has it on the vault. I was watching before we went live. I wasn't really watching it, but I turned it on while I was eating, and it was Stone Cold Steve Austin, you know, getting hit by the car by Rikishi. When they asked him why he did it, he said he did it for The Rock.
I just thought about something. Another reason why they went from USA to Netflix.
Why?
Nobody really watches USA, the station, anymore. Do you know what they play on USA nowadays?
Okay, can I guess?
Yeah, go ahead.
Old movies. The family reality show of the guy that went to jail, him and his wife, and old episodes of the Chucky movie. Chucky. It's called Chucky, right?
It's Chucky. Okay, wrong channel. Chucky was on Sci-Fi.
Oh, well, shit.
Or TNT and one of them. But you're missing one. They play reruns of Law and Order all damn day.
So they should just call the Law and Order channel.
Should be, right? I wouldn't mind being a Law and Order junkie myself. I would like that too, but they're not. So yes, it's not. The people who are marketed for Raw do not watch the channel USA. No, they don't. They're more so of us, you know, the more over 35 crew. I'm 33, but I act like I'm 40 sometimes. So, yeah. So they had to figure something out. If they wanted their ratings back, if they wanted views back, they had to go where people were. And everybody's at Netflix or Hulu. But I prefer them being over here at Netflix. Trust me, you don't want to be at Hulu. I'm like, Hulu needs to be studied. You ever notice, y'all family, have you ever noticed that Hulu, when stuff goes down in the world, like let's just use Diddy, for example.
Oh, Lord.
When Diddy went to jail, there were 3 documentaries that shot out maybe a week after he got out. I mean, after he went in. Hulu, TMZ, and I believe ABC or something, and Gail and them and whatever. 3 documentaries shot out immediately as soon as he went to jail. Come on now.
I don't remember. I only remember the one from Hulu. The other 2 Diddy things, they slipped by me. Fernando says that y'all remember silk stockings on USA back in the day. I do.
See,
used to come on right after
old.
Raw.
Woo, old school.
Fernando says I used to watch USA all the time. Fernando also says actually Jess friend stole from Seinfeld. Fernando says that my kids prefer Disney Plus over Netflix. Look, my kid just wants to watch Sasha. He wants to watch this little Russian girl, and she runs around with her dad, and he goes, "Daddy, that's us. Daddy, that's us." Because we always run around doing our own hijinks in the house. Terrell's here. Terrell says that from the Nosebleed show. Make sure you guys give him a follow. Not a follow, but a follow. He says that Braun's not winning the title. I'm here. Love you guys. Love you too, brother. Maria says the ambulance match was trash. And Maria says SmackDown is winning. What, Tristan? You heard me. I think it's winning.
Yeah.
I mean, with Trick showing up like he did, I mean, I think we're gonna. What'd he say? He putting a little lemon pepper in the SmackDown. I feel that them lemon pepper steppers.
He's putting a little bit of Larry's.
Hilarious.
If you know, you know.
I do. I don't use Larry's like that, but I know it does when it's nice.
Did you ever have the WWE Network, Jess? So the question that I was going to ask you, it just came to my mind, is that do you miss the WWE Network or did you already move on? Me personally, I missed the WWE Network, but I moved on. I had to move on. I couldn't just be like, well, you know, they're not going to bring back the WWE Network.
For no, there's no point when you can watch everything that you were watching now on Peacock, because that's what it was. It was like, it seemed like the WWE Network split into two things, Netflix and Peacock.
But it wasn't the same though on Peacock from the WWE Network. It wasn't the same.
Yeah, because you got to watch old SmackDown stuff. You got to watch old PLEs and old. Well, I didn't see much. Well, I think you could watch old Raw stuff too.
You could watch everything old and new on Peacock. But it just wasn't the same, though.
What was the difference? I'm not understanding.
The difference was that you'd find a lot of deep cuts on the WWE Network, like some deep cuts.
How do you know you couldn't find those if you didn't do the deep dive into Peacock?
They didn't exist on Peacock.
Oh, back then. Once I about to say, I guess for me, because I saw them all on Peacock. That's why I was like.
Now, if you're looking for like a deep cut,
go to YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Easy.
Yeah, it's on YouTube if you want a deep cut. Maria says, what are they winning, though? Raw is still better than SmackDown. I don't know. You know what it is for me? Maybe the issue is that it's the non-live Raws. And for me, when WWE...
I think it's accessibility.
When it's not live, I just don't care too much to watch it. Like, I skip wrestling during the holidays. When I find it's not live, I'm like, next time. Next time. I'm just not interested. It just doesn't tickle me.
Actually, I liked it because it made it easier for me to just skip through everything that I didn't want to watch.
True
so
point.
I was like, I kind of I get it. Live shows, we get to see it. It's happening. It's unfolding right here, right now, real time, right? But the recordings, I'm like, yeah, I get it. Why? Because these are still human beings. They still have families.
True.
They still need to go on vacation and be with their families and things like that. So when you record the stuff, I'm like, okay, I get it. Record it now. So that way these next 2 weeks, be with your family, or cut the promos like Cody Rhodes and Drew did, just, I think it was fine. I don't see a problem. I don't know. Maybe it's just I find good in a lot of things. I find the good. I don't like to nitpick TV for what? Because this is it's entertainment. What am I nitpicking about this for? For what?
Well, let's nitpick the pros and cons of the Netflix era. I think that it's easier access because Netflix has 300 million subscribers globally. In the United States, they probably had 7 million cable subscribers, but still not all of them were watching Raw. WWE is in your face when you go to Netflix. It's in your face. You see it right then and there. I think that even when I say that, one of the pros of the Netflix era being that it's now easier access.
I was about to say, go ahead and finish. I just thought of an epiphany just now.
I want to hear it in just a second. I think that Netflix and chill now involves Netflix. Now involves WWE.
Yes, it does. But I was just thinking about something. Now, just another pro about them being on Netflix. Remember, we were just talking about ratings and views, correct?
Right.
Now WWE has your undivided attention. You're either going to watch it or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was on United USA now, it's at 8:00 on a Monday, so, you don't, all sorts of stuff used to be on Monday nights. You could have been watching How to Get Away with Murder or
football, NFL.
The Masked Singer or something like that. Because 8:00 is a primetime night that all the different game shows or different dramas comes on now. Now, they ain't got to worry about none of that. They don't have to worry about you flipping to the back button of the remote. They ain't got to worry about you doing that no more.
It's either you're going to watch now or you're going to watch later on. Like Jess, the Tristan Law show comes on at 12:00 Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, live here on YouTube. A lot of people, we have our core audience, Fernando, Maria, Stu, they all watch live, but then there's people that still come back and they come back and they watch later on. So there's two experiences for people. There's the live experience and then there's the video on demand experience. You still get the same exact thing. And when I'm looking at the cons for the Netflix era, I think that fans, they pretty much consume what's pushed, not what they seek. So it's like if you don't know what to look for, you just turn on Netflix and they're going to say, hey, Watch Monday Night Raw from last week. But like, I felt like being a diehard fan, being a diehard fan, going on before the WWE Network, Jess, they had a website where you can go to the WWE's website, and you can go there and you can just run through the entire library. Whatever it is that you wanted to find, that's how I learned. When I first went to wrestling school, I learned appreciation for Dusty Rhodes. I learned appreciation for Ric Flair, because the only Ric Flair I knew was the Ric Flair that I met in 1998 when I started watching WCW, 97 when I started watching WCW. So, like, for me, I got to go back and watch the match of him and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You know, I got to go back and watch the match with him and Dusty, him and Terry Funk and all those other things. And I think that in this era, you don't have it so much anymore. If you don't know where to go. Unless you go to YouTube and just let the WWE Vault just present you with what they want you to watch.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I'm not understanding the issue here. If you don't want it, that's just it's called using brain power. It's called research.
Right, but the thing too, though, just that you don't know what you don't know. So, like, somebody like you, who you missed a lot of wrestling, I probably wouldn't even know where to start. If I was you, I wouldn't know where to start. It's just so much. So, then, like,
I mean, but that would be my responsibility. I'm gonna just deep dive. That's when again, if you're a fan, if you're a diehard, and you want to spread that love and you want to spread that knowledge to people, it doesn't matter where you tell them to start. You just tell them to start somewhere. You see what I'm saying? I'm like, well, hey, if you like wrestlers that talk a lot of shit, watch Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. You know what I'm saying? If you want to watch some big boy matches, turn on Big Show. You know what I'm saying?
Bam Bam Bigelow.
Okay, him too. Big Man or Mike Henry, all of them. Like, if you want a big man, if you want high flyers, say, hey, go over there and check out some luchadors.
Check out Rey Mysterio 96, 97.
There you go. Old Mysterio. It's, boy, it is so funny to see him then and then see him now. And it's just like,
he didn't grow.
It's not about that. I'm like, how do you become more attractive as you age? I was like, wow. I think it's gotta be a Latino thing. Whatever y'all drinking over there in Latino land, man, y'all need to go ahead and give me some, because damn, y'all be aging backwards sometimes, man. Woo.
Fernando said, we would rather watch you than anything on Netflix, Tristan.
Oh, you're too sweet. One day, man, one day. Because I did hear that. I heard Netflix is going to be picking up podcasts. I heard they're going to start doing that now. A lot of people over at Revolt and iHeart. I heard iHeart is doing a deal with Netflix. So now you will be able to get certain podcasts like The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, I can't wait. That's why The Breakfast Club didn't come out this morning, or maybe they're still not back in the studio. But I mean, I would love to do that, Jess. That's something I always say, that everything is up for negotiation. So that's something I would love to talk about with, them if it's when the time comes. But I think that one of the most important things that everybody should do if they want to help the channel grow, so we can get that opportunity to be someplace else, being a bigger, I think it's more of a party. No matter what I do, Jess, I would always want to do this show live, because I enjoy the interaction from talking with everybody, giving everybody the opportunity to be a part of the show. And if you want to help it grow, do me a favor, share this on your social media. Take the link and share it on your social media. The more people that know what you're, don't make this be your dirty secret. This doesn't have to be something that me, you, and Jess do a couple times a week. Let your friends come in on it too. Let your friends join the party. The more, the merrier. There's somebody out there that you're going to be. Go ahead, Jess.
You can always, it would help if we start putting our clips on Threads. I mean, we promote the show, but maybe people don't have TikTok. Maybe we got to show our reels a little bit more. Mm-hmm.
That is a thought. That is a thought. I did see something the other day, and that is a thought. Things are going. Maria says, if you want to fall out of love with wrestling, watch Miz.
That's my boy. You know that. Why y'all play with me like that? Y'all know that's my boy, man. I love it. See, that's why SmackDown is already better. See, my man kicked off the show right. He sure did. He sure did, because he is the greatest. He is the Miz. He is a Grand Slammer, 2-time Grand Slammer. You cannot have a show without the Miz. The Miz is the blueprint.
Well,
God bless the Miz.
You made my head hurt. You and Maria, y'all be killing me. Y'all be killing me.
God bless the Miz. That man. No, all right. On real talk, man. I mean, I know he's not the most favorite wrestler.
The Miz.
But people gotta admit, man, his character definitely does run that industry. His character, I'm like, man, I love the boasting. I like that. And then Randy Orton came out, and we all saw who is the locker room leader in real time, like, and which is good. Yes, Randy's back. We've been talking so much about him. He's home.
Randy's home. Looking at the poll, speaking of leader, the question was, has Raw on Netflix made WWE better, worse, or just different? The leader is different. Followed by, the leader's different, 71%, better, 29%, and nobody thinks it's worse. But, it's that time. It's that time to where we gotta, as they say, we gotta take it home, Jess, as much fun as we had.
So long. Farewell
until we meet
again. To you, my friends. Oh yeah, that might be a little too young for you.
Might be. So the thing with Netflix, right? The Netflix era didn't change Raw in year one. It changed what Raw is allowed to become. This wasn't the payoff year; it was the foundation year. Year two, which we start tonight, is where risk, creativity, and evolution finally matters. Because WWE doesn't want you; it doesn't want us living inside wrestling anymore. They want wrestling to live inside of our life. And the real question now isn't whether Raw changed. It's what WWE chooses to do with the power next. That's what I think.
I think that's great, Trish. Wait, before you push that button, Tristan.
Yeah.
I know, but just to talk about tonight's marketing, join us. Make sure you guys join us on Netflix for this Raw and the Upside Down, when the Raw and the WWE universe merges with the Upside Down, and we will truly be entertained. Trust and believe, y'all got to lock in today. And also make sure you watch all 5 seasons of Stranger Things right now on Netflix.
Sounds like a paid promo to me. Netflix, cut that check. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me and Jess today. We enjoy hanging out with you. Call me, 973-826-0101. Email me, TristanLawShowMedia@gmail.com. Check out the latest episode of Main Event Conversation with Cheyenne Ortiz. Flash Carter was the recent guest. I'm Tristan Law. She's Jess the Captain. And we'll see you next time.
Flashing red lights, driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive, nothing in sight, forever in flight.